Hello, crypto fam. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the audio setup that I use for my live streams and for my Zoom interviews with other people in the crypto space. I wanted to go ahead and just kind of give a brief overview of my signal chain and what microphone I'm using. And then I'm going to jump into the Zoom settings and kind of show you how to get the best bang for your buck in Zoom. So let's go take a look at what's going on with my audio setup. So if you take a look over here, you see a whole bunch of stuff on the screen, right? So I'm using a combination of an Apollo X4 and then also an Apollo X8P. And these are essentially an audio digital interface that has analog components inside of it, specifically preamps, that allow me to emulate analog gear that you might have seen in really high-end studios, right? And so also I have combined that with a Townsend Labs Sphere L22. Now this is also a mic that allows you to emulate other mics. Now this is a dual diaphragm mic, so it actually has two diaphragms inside here, and this allows you to do some really cool things, and they can emulate very closely to the originals, right? So, but let's take a look at my signal chain. So to start off, I have this lovely Neve 1084 preamp, and that's what I'm running. That's the very first thing that I start my signal chain with, and I have my gain turned pretty low. Otherwise, you'll start picking up some fan noise. So, and from there, and this gives some coloration, right? So if I were to drive this and turn this up, and then you would start hearing some more artifact from the mic preamp, that would be distorting the sound just a little bit, but it adds coloration, right? And so from in that signal, it goes straight into the Townsend Labs mic emulation. Now you can see here, if you look right here on the diagram, you'll see that the sound is coming right here and it's painting a picture. So if I snap on the other side of my mic, you're going to see that come on the signal, right? So, but right now I have two microphones that I'm actually emulating. Now this is the LD12 and then the LD67. I can let you go and Google what those are emulating. But essentially, this is some really expensive mics that I would never be able to afford. But the Townsend Lab is like a Swiss Army knife for letting you do this. So, and then I'm adjusting some of the things right here. And then I also they just had a new release that it's called Isosphere, that basically lets you emulate different types of dampening. So like a vocal booth, and you can do other things as well. Okay, so from in there, we're having the signal go out to this is the Teletronics LA28 compressor, and you can see here that it's slightly compressed. So I'm boosting my signal, I'm making the softs louder, and then I'm making the louds a little bit softer. So if I up the reduction a little bit, then you'll see the meter start to move even more, and eventually, and I don't want any more than that for myself. And then some coloration. The signal goes into the Pultec EQ, which is allowing me to do some interesting changes to the different frequencies, to attenuate certain frequencies and then boost some, and it just helps clean up the sound, at least here in my untreated space. And then at the very end, I just think it's great because I think it just fits for my voice. I just add back in some lows with this, it's called Little Labs Voice of God plugin. And this just, you can bring back in some really low sub-frequencies into the sounds. And so some of this is psychoacoustic, but it just adds a little bit of depth to everything. And so that's my signal chain for my microphone and all of my setups that I'm doing. Now, let's hop over to Zoom to see the settings that we're going to use in Zoom. Okay, now we're hopped over into the settings menu on Zoom. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of things. Under the audio tab, since I'm using a digital audio converter, you can see that my input and my output are both my universal audio Thunderbolt. You can see my input level going in. Now, a couple of settings that you see that I have changed. I've turned off the automatically adjust microphone volume. I've turned my background noise suppression to low, because otherwise it's going to try to do its own gate, right? So a gate is essentially if the decibel levels reaches a certain volume or a certain value, then it'll open or shut the gate, we call it, yeah? So, and then if you look under here, music and professional audio, the first thing you want to make sure you click is show in meeting option to quote, enable original sound. Okay, important. If you scroll down, we have high fidelity music turned on, turn off echo cancellation because we're wearing headphones. So there's no external sound that's coming from your speakers into your mic and trying to create a feedback loop. That's not happening. So you do not need echo cancellation on. And then also turn on stereo audio. Now this brings us to a quick point. Stereo audio. Zoom can support 48 kilohertz sample rate audio, but it only can support 2 channels. So for some people, you're going to need to do some digital routing and create some digital channels. So a left and right, and then route all of your audio to your 2 stereo channels. But in the console app with Universal Audio, we have this nice little workaround. So if I go on my console app, if I go to the settings, and if I pull over my little menu, then you will see what I'm going to do is at this point, I am actually going to change my inputs into monitor left for the input 1, and then I'm going to change my input 2 to monitor right. And when I do that, what that's going to allow me to do is to route all my audio through channel 1 and 2, and then that sends all the signal there, and I can mix it before it goes to the call. And that's what I do right there. Okay, so if we go take a quick look over now on the Zoom call, our imaginary Zoom call, if you look up in the top left-hand corner, it says turn off original sound. Seems a little bit counterintuitive. You want this to say turn off original sound because you want it to where it automatically turns on the original sound, which is the sound pre-processing from the Zoom call. And if you do this and you have anybody coming in on Zoom also do these same settings, that's going to help you kind of get the best audio bang for your buck from your calls. And that's the best you can do, sans having them in your actual studio, and then you can record your different channels, right? So I just wanted to give a quick update for all of you that are doing podcasting at home or doing interviews in the crypto space. This is the settings that I would suggest for you if you're going to have interviews. And this will help you kind of get the best you can with the limited bandwidth and tech that we have to work with at the current moment in time. One day, we'll be able to stream, have video conferencing with hi-fi audio. But until then, this is the best we can work for. So I hope you found this video informative. If you did, drop a comment. I'd love to read those. Let me know if there's anything else you want to know about. If you are looking for a stake pool, please consider staking to MUSE Stake Pool. We're currently a little bit over 2.3 million. We just had the Cardano Foundation's pledge leave the pool and go to a new pool. We're very happy for whoever got that, but we are sad to see you go, Cardano Foundation. It's a sad panda. But for those of you who do not have a home yet to stake, please consider staking with MUSE. So until next time, I'll see you guys later.